enjoyed the top 10 influential book tag that's been going around, and I thought I would chime in on my own. I found it really difficult to pick 10 books that were actually influential instead of just being books that I really loved a lot. So it's taken me a while, but here I am with top 10 books or authors, I cheated a little bit, that have been influential to me. And I thought I would take them chronologically. For one, The Boxcar Children by Gertrude Trandler Warner. I loved these books, the entire series. I read the 29 of them that were in my elementary school library. And who as a kid hasn't imagined living on their own in the wilderness somewhere? Number 2, Homecoming by Cynthia Voigt. My mom read this to me out loud when I was a kid, and again, it's about 4 siblings who are on their own. It was the first time that I sort of fell in love with an author as an author and read books outside of that series. Number 3, Are You There, God It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. I mean, come on. This was the first Judy Blume that I remember reading that really introduced me to young adult literature as a genre that really focused on puberty and growing up and had that candid style. Number 4, Sooner or Later by Bruce and Carol Hart. I've talked about why I love this book so much and how it has influenced me in another video. This was the first time that I noticed writing as writing, that I noticed that you could play with words to create your own style. Number 5, The Books of Norma Klein. I don't remember the first book I read by Norma Klein, but I know that after I read the first one I would pick her books up whenever I saw them. Again, she's that sort of very realistic, very candid, kind of shocking adolescent stories that from the 80s that I love so much. Number 6, The Books of Paul Zindel. I was influenced by Paul Zindel for many of the same reasons as the books of Norma Klein. Again, they have that raw, real, edgy feel to them. I really felt as an author that he understood what it was like to be a teenager and really didn't discount angst and anxiety. And also, he's the first male author that I remember really loving. Number 7, Prokofiev, A Life in 3 Movements by Lawrence and Elizabeth Hanson. This is the first biography that I read of a musician, and the first biography that I read in college. I was 17 and I would go to the library and read this book in between my classes, and I felt so grown up and sophisticated. So on one level there's that influence, and on the other the actual subject matter. This biography of this Russian musician really fed and influenced my love for Russia and Russian music. Number 8, Possession by A.S. Byatt. Her writing just blew me away. The sheer command of language that A.S. Byatt has to create the descriptions, and she delves so deep into everything. This was the first adult fiction that I read that I felt like my brain was stretching when I read it because she asked so much of her reader. Number 9, Harvest for Hope by Jane Goodall, and it came out when all of the sort of inconvenient truth and climate change and GMO and monoculture was really reaching the public finally. What I really love about this book and about Jane Goodall's writing, she doesn't use shock or scare tactics. She just explains the way things are and explains what we can do to keep the planet from dying in a gentle, peaceful, hopeful way that I really appreciate. Number 10 is How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk by Faber and Maslish. This book helps you learn how to talk to kids and listen to them without discounting their feelings and without becoming mired down in an argument or I told you so's. The tools in this book are helpful for communicating with anyone, not just with kids. And if we had all been raised in this style and raised our kids this way, we would have a calmer, more peaceful, more empathetic society. I really enjoyed thinking about this tag. Thanks for watching.